everyone. Good evening. My name's Nicole, and welcome back to our English class. I am excited to see you all here, bright and ready to continue our exciting journey into conversational English. Seriously, you're all doing incredibly well in your engagement with our previous meeting, like mastering connected speech, was just fantastic, which we discussed last week, right? If you remember on connected speeches, on linking, on assimilation, and others under connected speech. Now, again, for this week, we started on the topic, another topic. We opened on another topic, which is on conversational English. So last time, we officially kicked off what I believe is one of the most practical and immediately useful areas of English learning, which is again on conversational English. And we started the topic. We started a whole new lesson on conversational English, starting with the topic on introductions, where we talked about how to open a conversation, and of course, introducing yourself. We talked about how those very first words we exchange can truly set the tone for any kind of interaction. Now, remember, making a good first impression is key. We understand that. And of course, it all starts with knowing how to politely and confidently break the ice or the tension between you as the speaker and your listener, or the one receiving your message, receiving what you are saying to them. Okay, so we even put ourselves here in that very relatable scenario, the coffee break at a seminar. If you remember it well, on our previous meeting, we started our discussion on that. No, the scenario is that there you are at a seminar, and then there's a coffee break. Um, you are both standing by the pastries and thinking about those initial greetings like hello, these look good, don't they? Or are you enjoying the seminar so far? Now we explored simple greetings to open a conversation using observations so that we can start a chat and asking questions about shared experiences. Well, today it is a direct continuation of that very same lesson, our same topic, which is on introductions. Because let's be real, an introduction is not just about saying hello and your name. Okay, what happens after that? Now, how do you keep the conversation flowing naturally? This is where we deepen our understanding and practice the next crucial steps in meeting new people. If you recall our lesson goals for this topic, let me try to go back to that. These are our lesson goals. We aim to not only use basic greetings and introduction phrases, but also to respond politely and naturally to personal questions. Because once you say, "Hi, I'm Anne, I'm Anna, I'm David," the other person might ask, "Where are you from?" or "What brings you here?" Knowing how to answer these in a smooth, confident way is essential. Okay, so another goal we have here, of course, is that you can introduce yourself properly beyond just your name, beyond just saying, "Hi, I'm Anna. Hi, I'm Jake. Hi, I'm David." Beyond that phrase or beyond that introduction, what other little bits of information can you share to create a connection? Today, we're going to focus on that, into making those initial exchanges feel even more smooth or seamless. We will explore natural ways to talk a little bit about yourself without oversharing, and of course, how to keep the conversation going when you're asked those commonly introductory questions. This will truly help you build rapport and of course turn a simple greeting into a comfortable conversation. We'll have plenty of opportunities for practice, maybe even some role playing to make sure you feel totally ready for your next real life introduction in English. Okay? So yesterday we actually got cut off, right? We actually cut off. Yesterday we ended the lesson with the first two ways on how to say hello. We did this one. So we did discuss the how to say hello in different ways. Yesterday, we've already tackled or focused on or talked about standard and polite way and friendly and casual way. So let's just scan the first two um, just quickly. So we have here again as a way to say hello is these phrases, which is under what? Under, standard, and polite. Of course, we have here the very basic greeting. Hello. Again, hello. This is without a doubt the most common and universal greeting in the English language, as well as with hi, but hi is slightly more informal, the informal version of hello, just slightly more informal version of hello, but it's still very standard and polite in many everyday situations, especially in casual settings among people who are comfortable with each other or just being friendly. For hello, it's incredibly simple. It's very clear and it is extremely flexible. You can use hello at any time of the day, may it be morning, may it be afternoon, or may it be evening. And of course, you can say it with absolutely anyone. It works perfectly in formal situations, like if you're attending an important business meeting or speaking to a professional um, doctor or maybe your coworker. No, as well for hi, you can also use that, but it's still there are times that you need to consider because again I've mentioned earlier it's slightly the more informal version of hello. Okay, so you might use hi when you see your friends, when you see or you talk to your colleagues at work or people you see often, like maybe a barista at your favorite coffee shop or anyone. So it's perfect for starting a relaxed, easy conversation, just like in our seminar coffee break example yesterday. Now, I've mentioned earlier that both hello and hi are you can use them at any time of day, morning, afternoon, or evening. But there are also phrases or greetings that change depending on the time of the day. So the more specific ones, which are good morning. Of course, we use this in the morning until around 12 noon. Good afternoon, which is from 12 noon right after good morning finishes, and we continue using it until around 5 to 6 p.m. And finally, of course, good evening. We use it from about 6 p.m. onwards, and we continue using it throughout the night. So these five phrases from which is under standard and polite, we have hello, hi, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. They are your uh, absolute basic and like essential tools for saying for starting a conversation in English. They are your first step basically to like feeling much more comfortable and confident when you meet new people or when you try to start a conversation. They show that you're polite, they show that you're aware of the time and that you are ready to communicate. So this is the first how do you call that? This is the first way to say hello, which is under standard and polite. Another way is friendly and casual. Again, another one is friendly and casual. This is more like informal because casual means informal. It is more easygoing. It is not totally strict and it is kind of like relaxed. So these greetings are perfect for moments when you are very comfortable with the person you are talking to. You would usually not use these with, someone like your boss in a formal meeting or like a new client or a very important person you just met, unless you are absolutely sure of the situation and of course your relationship with them. But with your friends, your family members, or even colleagues you interact with every day in a relaxed environment, these are absolutely excellent. Or maybe you can use them and will make you sound very natural and friendly. Okay, first up we have hey. Hey, this is an incredibly common greeting, especially in casual conversations. You will hear this everywhere in movies, in on TV shows, um, what else? Among friends on the street, they say, hey. It's a very friendly and informal way to get someone's attention or simply acknowledge their presence and say hello. Basically, it's the, very informal version of hello or hi. So it's almost like a gentle friendly call that means I see you or look here. So you can use it when you see a friend walking towards you from a distance. Okay. Next on our list is hi there. Again, hi there. Hi there. This greeting is quite similar to hi, but the addition of there gives it a slightly different flavor, like a more informal version. It often conveys, a little extra friendliness, extra warmth, and of course, sometimes a sense of slight surprise or gentle recognition. It's like you're saying, oh, I see you standing right there, or I've noticed you. Hi there, I've noticed you. So you might use this phrase, hi there, when you encounter someone you know, but we're not necessarily expecting to see. You're surprised to see them. Or when you greet someone who is a little bit, physically distant from you. Okay, that's the second one. Third, a very, very popular one for casual conversation. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Now, notice how I pronounce it. Hey, what's up? What's up? That is an example of connected speech, linking. We try to make it much easier for our mouth to say a phrase, a word, or a sentence. This is an example of connected speech. Okay, what's up? Instead of saying it individually, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? We try to link words together, blend them so that it's much easier for our ears and our mouth also. Okay, usually connected speech, again, it is done in a casual conversation or in a conversational English, right? Okay, hey, what's up? So this particular greeting, you will hear this constantly in informal English conversations, particularly among younger people and close friends. Okay, next to that is yo. Very informal. This one has specific note next to it, which is, again, I've mentioned, very informal, and that is incredibly important. Yo is just, a casual greeting that um, that you can use. Um, you can use to your friends. Usually, it's your friends. You can use it also with strangers. It depends on you. So you would absolutely, under no circumstances, use yo in a professional context. Okay, professional environment, you do not use that with someone you don't know well, especially with someone significantly older than you, or in any situation where formality is expected, because this is, again, very informal. So we try to avoid using this particular phrase in a formal situations. Okay, because if you do that, this particular greeting, it can sometimes be misunderstood, or you will sound a bit aggressive or disrespectful if used in the wrong context or with the wrong person, because they do not know you that well. Because saying this particular phrase, it needs that I know you before you say that to me, so that I can understand you, because other people might not understand you and might take you as aggressive and disrespectful. Okay, moving on to another excellent casual greeting. How's it going? How's it going? This is another example of connected speech. Instead of saying how's it going, we say how's it? How's it? How's it? How's it going? Okay, we try to link words together so that it's much easier for our mouth and for our ears. Okay, so this is another, common and friendly way to ask how are you or how are things progressing, similar to what's up. It's a casual question that often doesn't require a very detailed response. And finally, hey, how are you? This is a classic and reliable greeting. When you add hey to how are you, it makes the entire phrase feel much more friendly, much more warmer, much more casual, and compared to just, a more formal hello, how are you? So this is a very common way to greet someone you know and care about, genuinely asking about their well-being. Okay, so these are your main options for friendly and casual greetings. It's really good to know them so that you can understand when people use them in movie, in songs, or in real life, and you could start to use them yourself when you're talking with friends and people you feel relaxed with. Okay, so the key here is the situation and your relationship with the other person, because standard and polite greetings are safe for almost everyone, while these friendly and casual ones are best reserved for those you already know, the person that you already know well, or are you are in a like very relaxed informal setting. Okay, my advice is just to listen carefully to how native speakers use these in different contexts. So we started, again, I've mentioned earlier, these two, we started the discussion on different ways to say hello in different contexts. We started on standard and polite, as well as friendly and casual. Today we will continue with the other two ways to say hello, which are warm and welcoming. And of course, we try to also consider the conversations that we will be having on the phone or online. We had not just on face to face conversations, but we will also include the conversations that we are going to have on the phone or online. Okay, let's start with warm and welcoming first. All right. Oh, sorry. Let me just check my screen first before I continue because I might get, what do you call that? I might get cut off. Okay, I guess it's all good. All right, let us continue. Again, I'm going to start or I'm going to continue with warm and welcoming. So, we've already explored again the very useful standard and polite ways to say hello, which are always safe. And of course, we moved on to friendly and casual greetings, which is, of course, perfect for your close connections. We're going to dive deep into a third important, very important category. These greetings are special because they are designed to express genuine happiness and like a sense of connection when you see someone you already know, especially after some time has passed. So these phrases will really add warmth and, of course, sincerity to your English conversation. So you try to pay very close attention to the specific feelings and situations I described for each one. Okay, we have again warm and welcoming. Let's think about what these words mean. Warm in this context, it is not literally about temperature, okay? It means showing great kindness, showing sincerity, showing friendliness, and of course, there's like a clear feeling of happiness. It is about radiating positive emotions. Welcoming, of course, it means making someone feel happy, making someone feel comfortable, making someone feel appreciated, like you are truly glad they are there, that you are talking to them. So these greetings are specifically designed for situations where you are meeting someone you have met before. You already know them, even if it's just a little bit, and then you feel a real sense of happiness or appreciation for seeing them again. They allow you to show a true positive feeling, which is, of course, important in building relationships. Okay, so let's break down each of these phrases. This is actually not all of them. I just included like the main ones. There are plenty of ways to be warm and welcoming when you try to open a conversation. Okay, these are just some of the many. Let's start with the first one. Nice to see you. Again, nice to see you. This is an incredibly common, widely accepted, and very versatile or flexible phrase that you can use whenever you meet someone you know. It directly and clearly expresses your pleasure and happiness at their like presence, and it is polite enough for almost any social or semi-formal situation where you already have like an existing relationship with the person. So it does not matter if you saw them just yesterday, just last week, or even many months ago. This phrase always works to convey genuine pleasure. For instance, Imagine you are at work in the morning at your place, and you bump into a colleague you haven't seen since, maybe let's just say, since Monday. You can smile warmly and say, "Good morning, nice to see you." Or if you've arranged to meet a friend for coffee or for a meal, after the initial hi or hello, you would definitely add, "Nice to see you, nice to see you again." So this phrase, it goes beyond after the after it goes beyond just a simple greeting. It communicates that their presence, it truly brings you joy. It's like a wonderful phrase for reinforcing positive relationships. So try saying it quietly to yourself, perhaps with a small smile. It will do good. Okay, nice to see you again, nice to see you. All right, so that's a very sincere expressions that we should have when we try to say this phrase. Okay, nice to see you. Next, a phrase that beautifully acknowledges the passage of time. It's been a while. Again, it's been a while. This phrase is absolutely perfect for those moments when you kind of like encounter someone you know, but you haven't seen them for a noticeable period, like for a long time. It could be a few weeks, several months, or even several years. The core meaning of "it's been a while," that phrase is like you're saying, it's just like you're saying, "Wow, it has been a significant amount of time since we last met." Something like that. Okay? It instantly implies that you remember them, that their absence was noted, and that you are acknowledging like the gap since your last meeting. So this phrase, it very naturally opens door for like a quick friendly conversation about what they have been doing during that time. For example, let's just say you're walking through a kind of like a mall maybe at your place, and then you suddenly see an old university friend you haven't seen since graduation. So your immediate reaction after the initial surprise might be to exclaim, "Oh my goodness, Anna," something like that. "Oh my goodness, Anna, it's been a while. How are you?" Okay, so this phrase, it immediately establishes a sense of shared, like let's just say, shared history or experience, and it makes the reunion feel special. It's a very natural and emphatic way to reconnect. It's been a while. Again, it's been a while. Okay. Following that, a very common and endearing phrase is "long time no see." Long time no see. This phrase is an informal idiom, which means it has a meaning that is not really obvious just by looking at the individual words. It literally means "I haven't seen you for a long time." Okay, that's what you're trying to imply here. "I haven't seen you for a long time already." So this phrase, it is used exclusively with people you already know, like quite well, and you haven't seen for a considerable amount of time. Okay, so this one, it is like highly friendly and very casual, which acts almost like a shorthand way of saying you try to mean that it's really been a very long time since we saw each other, and I'm genuinely happy to see you again. Long time no see. While it doesn't follow strict English grammar rules, it's not a complete sentence. It is widely understood and very frequently used by native English speakers in informal, comfortable contexts. Basically, in conversational English, in casual conversations, you would typically use this with old, like cherished friends, sorry for that, with family members, or if not of them, maybe with very close acquaintances. For instance, let's just say, if your relative who lives abroad comes to visit you in your place after like maybe a year or more than a year, you might hug them tightly, right? And of course, you try to exclaim with genuine delight, "Long time no see." Okay, Long time no see. It truly expresses warmth and familiarity, and of course, a sense of joyous reunion. It's classic for expressing that bond. Long time no see. And finally, the last phrase and expression for warm and welcoming is glad you're here. Glad you're here. This phrase is a direct, strong, and incredibly warm and warm way to communicate your happiness that someone has arrived or is just currently present in your maybe company or at your event. It is extremely welcoming and it makes the other person feel valued and appreciated. Okay, you would most commonly use this when someone arrives at your home for a visit or maybe at an event or party that you're hosting, or even at the very beginning of a class, a meeting, or gathering. Just like I might say to all of you, when you log in, it clearly and immediately communicates that their presence is valued, that the presence of the one you're talking to is valued. You appreciate them, and then, yeah, you appreciate them. You appreciate their presence in the conversation. For example, if you're hosting a small get together at your house and your friend walks through the door, you would open the door, of course. No, you would open the door with a smile and say, "Hi, come in. Glad you're here." So it truly makes the other person feel very welcome. They would feel more comfortable, much more comfortable, and that their effort to come was noticed, it is appreciated. So it's a fantastic phrase for making someone feel at ease and cherished. So these warm and welcoming greetings are incredibly powerful tools to deepen your connections and express genuine positive emotions. Of course, when meeting the people that you know again. So um they add like a significant layer of personal feeling, of sincerity, and of course, friendliness to your English conversations. It is crucial to remember that these are primarily for people that you already know well, like they are not for complete strangers. They're all about reconnecting, they're all about expressing joy at a reunion or making someone feel truly comfortable and valued. So I highly encourage you to think about specific people in your life, may it be family, friends, former colleagues who you haven't seen in a while. Imagine yourselves in different scenarios and practicing one of these phrases to them, even just in your mind or quietly out loud. Okay? Visualize the happy reaction you would get. Sorry for that. So this kind of mental practice, it is a wonderful way to make these phrases feel natural and of course ready for when you need them in real conversations. Okay? Let's try to practice saying these phrases. Let me start and I'll give you the time to read them again and again. For warm and welcoming, these are the phrases. It's not, nice to see you. It's been a while. Long time no see. Glad you're here. Of course, it's very important that with verbal communication, which is the one which is when we say these phrases, it's very important that we pair or we also include nonverbal communication, which are your facial expressions, your gestures, your smile, any kind of communication which is not done by the mouth. So it's very important that you pair that one because if you say nice to see you and then you're like angry, your expression is angry, of course your listener would be really confused. You say nice to see you, but your face looks angry, so it would confuse your listeners. It's very much important that with everything you say, you try to include nonverbal communication, your facial expressions, your gestures, and other kinds of nonverbal expression because it would enhance your intention. It would enhance the message of your what you call that of what you're saying. Okay, so try to say these phrases with a happy expression, something that is really intended for these phrases. Okay, I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to practice saying this. Time starts now. Okay, time's up. All right. Did you read it well? Did you read it repeatedly? These phrases? No, it's very important that you try to read it for yourself so that you can really practice them well. Because aside from one thing to really make your message come through to your listener is that you pronounce what you're saying properly so that they can understand you. Okay? Again, this is how you say it. Nice to see you. It's been a while. Long time no see. And glad you're here. Okay? All right. Okay. All right. Next, and the last way to say hello is on the context where we are on the phone or online. We are now at our very last category for saying hello in different ways. This is a very important part of our lesson, especially in today's world where so much of our communication happens without being face to face. Just like what we're doing here. We're not I am trying to help you enhance your English skills online. No, I'm doing my classes online. So we've learned how to greet people when we see them in person. But what about when we can only hear their voice or see them through a screen, just like right now? Okay. So this particular way, it will help us like give it will help you give essential phrases for those exact situations. So these will truly make you feel confident and ready to communicate in English no matter the distance. So let's get this final section going. On the phone or online, this category is specifically designed for all those moments when you are communicating through technology. Like think about every time you use your mobile phone or you try to participate in a video call like our class or you try to send voice messages or even interact in online chat rooms for work maybe or for studies, the way we greet people can be like subtly different when we can't see their body language. So body language is part of what I've mentioned earlier, non-verbal communication, no? Like just like facial expressions, that is also a non-verbal language. So it's very difficult if it's very difficult that we communicate with others and then we cannot see their body language, their facial expressions, or if not that, it's really hard to communicate with someone that you are not in the same physical space as them. You're not close to them by distance. Okay? So these phrases are incredibly practical and of course absolutely necessary for effective communication in our modern connected world. These are just some of the many. You have plenty of options to start a conversation on the phone or online. Okay? These are just the basic ones. First, and perhaps the most crucial for remote identification, we have hello, this is Anna. Hello, this is David. Hello, this is Jake. This is arguably the most fundamental, like universally polite and professional way to answer a phone call, especially if it's a call you are expecting for business or from someone who might not immediately recognize your voice. It is equally excellent for initiating a video call or joining an online meeting or even making an outbound call when you need to clearly and immediately identify yourself to the other party or to the one you are talking to. So when you say hello, this is Jake. Hello, this is Anna. Hello, this is David. I keep repeating the names, but let's just use those names because it's much basic ones. So hello, this is David. You are trying to accomplish two very important communication tasks here simultaneously. First, you are extending a basic greeting to the other person, of course, and second, you're immediately and like unambiguously telling them who you are. Okay, so this way of identification of introducing yourself, it is very vital in remote communication, in the phone or online communication, because the visual cues, the nonverbal communication, like seeing the face of the one you're talking to, they are missing. So it prevents confusion and ensures the conversation starts smoothly and efficiently. For instance, imagine your phone rings and the caller ID shows an unfamiliar number. When you answer, instead of just hello, it's much better practice to say, hello, this is Maria. Hello, this is David. So this immediately informs the caller who they have reached. Similarly, if you're logging into a large virtual class or a work meeting and the host or colleague asks, who just joined the meeting, you can unmute yourself, your microphone, and politely say, "Hello, this is David." Okay, so this provides immediate clarity and professionalism. It's also extremely useful if you are the one making an outbound call and the person you're calling might not have your number saved or recognized. You would always start with, "Hello, this is Jake. I'm calling about," and then you try to continue your purpose. So this phrase, it ensures clear, concise, and polite identification, which is absolutely critical when visual context in a communication is absent. Okay, so that's the first phrase. "Hello, this is," and then you provide your name. Okay, all right. Let's continue for a moment. Let me check my screen. It's very important that I check it from time to time because we don't know when it will cut off because there are times that it get cut off. Okay. Next, a phrase that addresses a very common technical challenge in online communication, like saying, "Hi, can you hear me? Hi, can you hear me? Hi, am I audible?" Something like that. Sorry for that. Let me continue. So the phrase is again, "Hi, can you hear me?" Now, this phrase, it is absolutely like you cannot totally throw it away, and it is frequently used in online meetings, in video references, conferences, or even during some unstable phone calls where the audio quality might be unreliable or uncertain. When you are initiating speech in an online interactions, especially if you are the one leading or speaking first, it is considered very common practice and polite etiquette to first check if your audio connection is working correctly. This simple question helps to avoid the awkward situation of speaking for a long time only to discover that your microphone was off or your voice was not being transmitted properly to the other participant. So that's, like you're talking there, you keep talking, you keep discussing your topic, and then the whole time your audiences cannot really hear you because you are muted. So it's very important that you check your audio from time to time, so that there's no need for repeating yourself. So the hi in the phrase "Hi, can you hear me?" It's a friendly and informal way to start. And of course, this direct question, "Can you hear me?" It's a clear request for a essential, like, technical confirmation, checking of technicalities. Okay, so the expected response from the other person is usually a straightforward "Yes, I can hear you," or as simple as "Yes." No, "Yes, I can hear you," "Yes, perfectly clear," or "Yes." If there's a problem, of course, we should say the opposite. You can respond by saying, um, "No, I can't hear you," or "Your voice is breaking up," or as simple as "No." For example, before you start giving a presentation online or even just saying hello in a group call like this class, and you want to ensure that your microphone is active and working well, of course, you would very commonly say, "Hi everyone, can you hear me?" or "Can you hear me clearly?" It's like a foundational part of the modern online communication etiquette, and it demonstrates your consideration for the other participant's experience. I'm sorry if I keep yawning. Sorry. It's already like past midnight here, so there are times that I might pause and yawn. I hope you understand that. I hope you consider that one. but I will always continue with the discussion, okay? But there are just times that I can really force myself to stop yawning. So I have to yawn. But anyway, let's continue. Um, yeah, for the second phrase, hi, can you hear me? So this is very important. Starter conversation in an online meeting, because it shows your consideration for the other participants' experience. It saves time and prevents frustration to come through. And finally, more casual yet effective way to initiate contact online or through messages is this one. Hey, just checking in. Hey, just checking in. So this phrase is particularly well suited for informal messages, for quick emails, or for short, non-urgent calls to friends, to family members, or to close colleagues when you are not contacting them about something like pressing, something critical, or highly specific. So the hey, as we thoroughly discussed earlier, functions a very friendly, very light and casual greeting. It sets an informal tone. So the casual addition of just checking in, of course, it implies I'm simply contacting you to see how are you doing, okay? Or I'm merely saying hello and seeing what's happening in your world or your communication. You are not, you know, you are like not typically asking for specific information or immediate action here. You're thinking of um, maintaining a connection, showing friendly interest, or simply letting them know you are thinking of them. Okay, so that's that. Hey, just checking in. For instance, let's just have an example, a quick example. Um, For instance, you might send a text message to a friend you haven't conversed with in like a few days already. You say, hey, just checking in to see how you're doing. Hope all is well, something like that. Or if you make a quick and scheduled phone call to a colleague and they answer you, you might say, hey, it's Anna, just checking in about the project when you have a moment. No rush. So it's a light, considerate, and low pressure way to initiate contact and, of course, to keep lines of communication open without the need for like a big specific reason. This particular phrase is incredibly common in informal text messages, in chat applications, and social media interactions. Okay. So these specific phrases, they are like your essential tools for confidently navigating greetings in the digital and remote world. They require a slightly different approach than face-to-face greetings because they often involve the added steps of checking technology or clearly stating your identity when the other person cannot see you. So mastering them is incredibly beneficial for staying connected, for maintaining relationships, and for communicating effectively in today's modern, highly networked global environment, especially when you are speaking English with people, especially with people who might be across the city, across the country, or even the world, like we're doing right now in this online class. Okay. So I strongly encourage you, all of you, to actively imagine yourselves in these various technological situations. Envision yourself answering your phone, initiating a video call for work, or sending a quick message to a friend. What would you say? Try practicing these phrases out loud just to, give yourself in your own space. The more you use them, even in practice, the more natural and comfortable you will feel when you see them. Um, them or the remote communication scenarios actually occur in your life. So, do you have any of these on the phone or online greetings bring up any specific thoughts or situations for you? Please feel free to think about them. These are truly practical phrases for our everyday lives now. And with that, that's the last one for on the phone or online. So let me read it again, and I'm gonna give you time to read it for yourself in your own comfortable spaces. Okay. Hello, this is Anna. Hello, this is David. Hello, this is Jake. Hi, can you hear me? Hi, can you hear me? Hi, can you hear me? And hey, just checking in. Hey, just checking in. Hey, just checking in. Okay, your turn. I'm gonna give you still 30 seconds to practice this one. Time starts now. All right, time's up for your reading practice. Again, this is hello, this is Jake. Hi, can you hear me? Hey, just checking in. Okay, all right. That is on the phone or online. And with that, we have successfully covered many, many different ways to say hello in English for almost every situation, from very formal in-person meetings to warm reunions and now to essential online and phone communication. This extensive knowledge, it provides a fantastic and good foundation for confidently starting any conversation in English. So next, building directly on this, we will move on to the sorry for that. We'll move on to the crucial next step, learning how to properly introduce yourselves by sharing our names and basic information. Let's get ready for the exciting next part of our lesson. So we are going to practice by different by introducing yourself or by opening a conversation on different contexts. So let's have this the first one. This is just a casual catch up in a very relaxed situation. No? Casual catch up. What does casual mean? Again, it means relaxed, it means informal or not formal, and catch up means to talk with someone you haven't seen in a little while to find out what's new with them. So, this is more of like a very informal conversation between two people who already know each other. Again, we see two illustrations of people signaling that this is a friendly interaction. Okay, so this dialogue, it's a perfect example of using those friendly and casual greetings we learned earlier. So let's read it together and I will explain each part in detail. So try to read the whole dialogue with me. While I was reading it, I want you to also read it for yourself. Okay? All right. Person A starts by saying, "Hey, what's up?" Okay? I'm just gonna read it directly. "Hey, what's up?" "Not much. Just got here. You?" "Same. Let's grab a drink." Okay, very simple, not very direct. So, how about you try reading this for 20 seconds? Time starts now. All right, time's up. Let's continue. Okay, so this dialogue. It is a perfect example of using those friendly and casual greetings we learned earlier. So let's read it together and I will explain each part in detail. Okay. Now here, person A starts by saying, "Hey, what's up?" Remember this one? We talked about it earlier. Hey is a very common, very friendly and informal way to get someone's attention or to say hello to a friend. It is relaxed, okay? And what's up or what's up is a super common casual questions that means how are you or what's happening. As we discussed, when someone says what's up, they usually don't expect a very long, detailed answer about everything in your life. It's mostly just a friendly way to open the conversation. So, this greeting immediately sets a very relaxed and informal tone for the conversation. It tells the other person, we are friends, so we can talk easily. Hey, what's up? Then person B replies, "Not much, just get here. You?" This is a very typical and natural answer to what's up or what's up. Not much or sometimes nothing much. It is the most common response. It means nothing new or exciting is happening. It signals that everything is normal and calm. Like just get here. Um, the just get here, continuation to that. Person B adds a little piece of information about their current situation. They are letting person A knows that they just arrived at this place. So this is a simple, direct detail, and then you, last part of the phrase. This is a very common informal way to ask, "How about you?" Okay, you just simply say you. What about you? Instead of saying the full question again, English speakers often just say you. with an upward tone. So to ask the same question back to the person who asked them. If it keeps the conversation flowing easily and casually. Okay. Finally, person A responds saying, same, let's grab a drink. So let's look at this part. Same, this is a very short, very casual, and very common way to say me too, or the same thing as happening with me. So it means I also have nothing much happening, or I'm also just arrived here or been here. It's quick and efficient for informal chat. So let's grab a drink. This is a suggestion to do something together. Let's mean let us and what do you call that? And it's used to like propose an activity. Grab a drink. This is a casual way to say they want to spend um more time together, and of course continue talking to them. It's a friendly invitation. So what can we learn from this super short conversation? Hey, what's up? It's a really common and friendly way to greet a friend. A common and easy answer is not much or nothing much. Nothing happened, and you can add a small detail. You can easily ask our questions back by just saying you. Same is a quickly way to agree, and let's grab a drink. It's very natural to say to. It's a very natural way to suggest doing something together with a friend. Okay, so this dialogue, it is short, but it's very authentic to how casual conversations happen among friends in English. It uses simple words and common phrases that flow naturally. And of course, it's not about formal introductions, but about keeping a friend going. Okay? All right. Um, I highly encourage you to read this dialogue aloud to yourself a few times. Try to imagine yourself as person A, then as person B. Feel how relaxed and easy the conversation is. This type of practice will really help you understand the natural rhythm of casual English. Okay, try reading this whole conversation by yourself. Let me read it first. Hey, what's up? Not much, just get here. You? Same, let's grab a drink. Okay, so try reading this for still 20 seconds. Time starts now. All right, time's up. Let's continue with this one. Um, so try to you've read it, did I? You've read the whole dialogue. That's good if you've read it. So we are really doing great covering all these conversation examples so far. So this helps to connect the words we learn to real life situations. Okay, let me just check my screen. Okay, for a moment, let me fix that because I think the bottom part was cut. Let me check it again. All right, it's all good now. Okay, so we've explored how to start conversations when you meet someone new, how to have a quick chat with a friend, and even how to talk on the phone. Now let's look at very common and natural situation that happens all the time. Accidentally meeting someone you know when you weren't expecting to. Basically, we are going to focus on bumping into someone. Okay, bumping into someone. But I think there's still a wait. Okay, there is a phone call, but this is, we've already talked about this on our previous discussion. This is the example for conversations on the phone or online. Let's try to what do you call that? Let's try to go over this really quickly. Okay, let me read the whole dialogue first. Hello, this is Jason. Hi, Jason. This is Maria. Get a minute? Sure, what's going on? All right, so it ends there. The conversation, it ends there. Again, let me read it for you. Hello, Again, let me read it for you. Hello, this is Jason. Hi, Jason. It's Maria. Get a minute? Hi, Jason. It's Maria. Get a minute or a moment. So that is the whole conversation. Hello, this is Jason. Hi, Jason. It's Maria. Get a minute? Sure, what's going on? So this is just a simple dialogue, no? A simple example of a phone call dialogue. So try reading this for yourself. What is it again? This is the whole conversation. So I'm gonna give you 20 seconds to do that. Time starts now. Okay, time's up. Let's discuss this in detail. We've been talking about how to start conversations when you meet someone for the first time in somewhat new or professional setting, like our seminar, for example, a seminar example. But of course, not every introduction or greeting is that formal. Sometimes you're just, how do you call that? For a moment. I think my screen got stuck. Let me just fix it quickly. Where am I again? Okay. Okay. All right, all good. Now here again, this is on phone calls. Okay, phone calls have their own specific set of phrases and etiquette for starting a conversation, especially when you might not be certain who has answered or if the person is available. Okay, that's the conversation. So let's break down the key phrases in this phone introduction. Hello, this is Jason. Now, this is the standard polite way to identify yourself when you are the one answering the phone, especially if it is a number where the caller might not immediately recognize your voice, like a business line or home phone. So it's clear and direct. Next is Hi Jason. Hi Jason, it's Maria. Get a minute? Now this is how the caller identifies themselves. It's it's Jason, and then it's very common and natural. So the phrase "got a minute," it's a polite and efficient way to check if the person you're calling is free to talk right now. It shows respect for their time. So you might also hear, "Do you have a minute?" or "Is this a good time to talk?" You can just also say that. And lastly, sure, what's going on? Sure indicates willingness to talk. What's going on? It's a commonly slightly more casual way of asking what's up, or why are you calling, or how can I help you? It invites the caller to state the purpose of their call of their call. Okay. Notice how phone introductions often involve immediately stating who you are or checking if the other person is available for the conversation, since you can see their nonverbal cues or the nonverbal communications like facial expressions or gestures. Okay. All right. Again, this is a phone call. Hello, this is Jason. Hi, Jason. It's Maria. Get a minute? Sure. What's going on? Okay. So that's the conversation. Let's have the other situation that we have here, which is again bumping into someone. Let me read it. Long time no see. I know it's been ages. How have you been? Okay. Try to reading this for yourself. I'm gonna give you 20 seconds to do that. Time starts now. All right, time's up. Okay. This is the last situation. All right, so let's try to break this down again. Let's it shows a very natural flow of conversation between two people who clearly know each other well. Okay? Long time no see. I know it's been ages. How have you been? Okay. So person A starts by exclaiming, long time no see. Remember this phrase? We just covered it in our warm and welcoming section. Long time no see. It's a very common informal idiom that means I haven't seen your face for a very long time. So it's used when there's been like a significant period since your last meeting. So when person A says this, it immediately communicates surprise. It communicates recognition and happiness at the unexpected reunion. It's a very friendly and warm way to acknowledge the time that has passed and, of course, to show that you remember the person well. So it sounds very natural, like something you would genuinely say when you run into an old friend in, let's say, a busy market in your place. Okay? Then person B replies, I know, it's been ages. This is a perfect example, enthusiastic response. I know. Person B agrees immediately with person A. So this shows that they also recognize that it's been a long time and that they are happy about the unexpected meeting, and it creates a sense of shared experience. And the other one, it's been ages. This is another informal phrase that means it's been a very, very long time. Ages implies an extremely long period, even longer than a while. It really emphasizes how much time has passed since the last encounter. So this phrase works great with long time no see because they both reinforce the same ideas. Wow, we haven't seen each other in forever. It's a very natural and slightly informal way to express the langka. And finally, person A continues the conversation. How have you been? After the initial exclamations about the long time apart, this is the most logical and natural next question. How have you been? It's a polite and common way to